and some anti-ground as well. Can't be relying on tanks for all of it. Okay. Just wish I had a better income. I love in Wings of Liberty one of the upgrades you can get at the end of the Protoss research tree. Automated refineries. Fantastic. Sometime after I'm done Wings of Liberty, sorry, not Wings of Liberty, Legacy of the Void, I'll go and do the Nova campaigns. I've been meaning to order them for the last while. Since basically I was told you could pre-order them, I've been meaning to do it, but I kept forgetting. So, yeah, I'll get around to that at some stage. I'll do them, and if any other missions packs have come out in the meantime, I'll do them as well. Of course, after I've done the Nova ones, I'll do it that way. Not do it that way. After I do this and Brood War, I'm moving on to Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, then Legacy of the Void, and Legacy of the Void's prologue, Whispers of Damnation or whatever it's called. I honestly don't remember. It's Whispers of this. I'll then move on to the Nova campaign, the Nova missions, 9 of them, and then I'll move on to whatever else. By the time I'm there, I'm going to be fully done. By the time I'm onto the Nova ones, they're going to be fully released, and maybe a few other mission campaigns. Because, think about it this way, there's 60 missions to the StarCraft anthology. StarCraft 1 and StarCraft Brood War. 30 missions to StarCraft 1, 30 missions to Brood War. And so let's not get into the difficulty of the missions. I remember playing some Brood War and I found it kind of difficult, though I was substantially younger and presumably shitter at games. So basically, say if I run into a mission that I find really difficult, I may have to play it a few times till I actually beat it. Which will mean my mind has gone to shite. I've played a few times before I beat it, which means more episodes dedicated to it, which will mean the series goes on longer. I don't intend to stretch it out, or that's not my intention here. I'm merely stating a fact. That if I have to replay a mission a few times, this series is going to go on for longer, meaning that it's going to be longer before I get to Legacy of the Void and future missions, future StarCraft 2 things. And it will also mean longer before I can move on and play any other game. I kind of want to get all the StarCraft 2 things done as soon as possible, because I kind of want to see Legacy of the Void. I've been waiting for a while to see it. But I want to get this done first, because I feel like if we're going to wrap up StarCraft 2, like the final part of the StarCraft 2 trilogy, it feels weird. It's a trilogy inside one game. But, you know, it's like StarCraft 2, and it's a trilogy inside it. It's just because I'm kind of waiting for StarCraft 3 to be announced. So it's a trilogy inside a trilogy, inside a trilogy, inside a trilogy, inside a quintillion. But anyway, it's a, you know, enigma wrapped in a burrito. It's going to take a while, is all I'm getting at. I lost my point with the enigma jokes, but basically it's going to take a shit long while, and yeah. Unload. Unload. Move over this way. It's gonna take a fuck long while to actually get through these, and especially longer if I say run into difficulty with a mission or whatever. Oh yeah, I remember my point now. I'll pause this so I can focus. Basically, my point is that I feel if we're wrapping up StarCraft 2 with Legacy of the Void, I feel that we should start at the start, get a full grasp of the story with StarCraft 1, StarCraft Brood War, do like a people do with Game of Thrones, they do reread things where they reread certain characters, like Sandor Clegane. There was a reread of him on the Westeros.org website where people reread the stuff related to him. You can miss the first time you read through a thing, you can miss it, or when you've got more information about the character, different scenes can make more sense. And certainly since I started off on StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty on my channel, and I played StarCraft 1 as a younger kid, I might have gotten the full grasp of it or whatever. So I feel that if we're going to finish off StarCraft 2, we should start at the beginning and get a full grasp of the story, so we'll actually know who the fuck some of the characters are. Because I don't think some of them have appeared in StarCraft Wings of Liberty or Heart of the Swarm. And we'll probably actually, at least we'll get an introduction to Zeratul, as he's been just like a mysterious character off to one side throughout the other two things. He's coming more to the forefront. Well, he's been important in Wings of Liberty and Heart of Swarm in the other two games, but it's just been basically appearing, guiding, and then disappearing. In Legacy of the Void, he's probably going to be more important. 1 second. Alright, sorry, I'm hearing phantom dog barking. It's a horrendous condition. Siege mode. Obliterate. This is why I like siege tanks. So far right, but they can demolish in large numbers. Certainly in small numbers they can do quite a lot of damage as well, but you saw what happened. So, my tank brigade will roll out in a second. Now I got Sabaton's song A Ghost Division going through my head. It was about I believe it was Nazi tank division. They moved very fast. They just I can't remember the exact thing. I think I remember reading some online that the command even had difficulty keeping in contact with them. They just kept rolling ahead. Well,
your forces are under
they like being fast, speedy. Don't know how true it is. I just remember I read something online. Of course it's true. Ugh. I never looked into it. Should do at some stage. Come on, be careful. I'm like, I've not quite a cold sweat, but it's like, what if I'm wrong? What if I was misled, or I'm obsessed with being right. So not being able to edit this with the correct answers being it's actually kind of hard for me. It may sound silly, but I'm just kind of obsessive with I must be right kind of thing, So yeah.
Your forces are under attack.
Oh Christ! Christ. Move in!
Your forces are under attack.
Christ. Kinda botched that. I was still too flustered from the other thing to pay attention. Okay, I lost a few tanks. How many did I have?
Yes, sir. Identify target. Destination.
I forgot all about these things. Oh, okay, I didn't lose too many. I knew I lost 2, but couldn't find the others. So I was wondering, did I lose them as well? I'm still really flustered as hell. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. Like, seriously, makes me think of Mr. Burns. Okay, you stay there. Ye, get over here. Ye, get over here. You build. No. No. Refinery.
Identify target.
Comlink online.
Okay, I need to pull out so I can get this tank up. It's important to have the tanks up here in the high ground.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be kind of intrinsic to my survival here.
Systems functional.
Identify target. Move it.
Hope I'm not overstating them, but they are pretty damn useful in this mission.
Delighted to, sir. Commander.
Your forces are under attack.
Vulture got hit, but it's only a vulture. Doesn't matter.
Proceeding.
And it's only 2 Marines over there. They're nothing to write home about. Certainly they can be dangerous, but again, this line of tanks that are mostly at full health,
Sir.
well, bar a few, you know, they're doing pretty well.
We have you on visual.
Channel open.
I'll
Confirm.
move ye here.
Standing by. Go, go,
I have some up here to move as needed. I can pull these up if needed, but I'll hold them back. Wait.
Yes, sir.
What the fuck happened? Like, where's the SCV that was meant to work there?
Reporting for duty. Right away.
Instructions unclear. Dick got stuck in fan. I feel it's the case when it's kind of the case like that right now.
Affirmative. Right away, sir.
Just get over here and wait. Okay. I need more Goliaths. I'm just thinking Goliaths will be very handy when I need to push on the enemies. They've got a fair bit of health, a little bit of armor, and they can attack both air and ground. Something tanks can't. And they got the extra health over Marines, so it's very useful. Let's just go fully up. Ooh, we can get tier 2.
Not enough minerals.
Nice. Same for these. Yep, would be kind of weird if you couldn't get tier 2 for both, but you never know with games. Also, is it just me, or does it look like this is tied to a tree stump? I keep thinking of that as like some weird tree stump or something. I wish I had my phone on me, because I really want to like out-tab and check what's it right about the Ghost Division thing. But like, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. If I'm right, let me know in the comments. I need to start buying, you know, not books based on different historical topics and start reading them again. Because I do actually care about history, not particularly Irish history. I find it, at least the way it's been taught in schools, to be very boring. Certainly, it could be a very interesting topic, but the way it's taught, like, it has the possibility of being interesting. But the way it's taught, I just end up finding it very boring. Though there can be certainly possibly funny parts to it. This isn't. It just sounds funny to me. It might necessarily be funny, but since it's the centennial, basically it's 100 years since the event. I'll give this as an example. Though this will be my only example to go with anyway. There was a rising back in 1916. Ireland was controlled by England, and a group within it called the IRA. At the time, they weren't as shitty, but as the later on IRAs go, though I don't know too much about them in any iteration. At least that's what I hear. Like I said, I don't know too much about them. They staged a rising of sorts, and they took over a few buildings in Dublin. The GPO, among others, like governmental buildings, and the Jacob's Biscuit Factory.
Want a piece of me, boy? You want a piece of me, boy?
It has strategic value, but it just sounds weird to me that, oh, they took over the GPO and the other government offices and a biscuit factory. For those at GPO don't know what that means, it's a general post office or something. Or it's basically the post office, a big branch of it. We have like over in the city, we have a GPO down here as well. It's not just like solely one in Dublin, like it's just like a bigger branch rather than a small doty post office is a bigger one.
Piece of me, boy. You want a piece of me, boy?
So yeah. Sorry, the reason I hum in the hall there was like, should I say the city I live in? I think I've already said it. It's Waterford. It's not like you can track me down from that. So I don't want to get random people knocking on my front door at 2 AM. Like, please be respectable and, you know, do it at like 8 PM.
Base is under attack.
There's a chance I'll have pants on at that stage.
Piece of me, boy.
Fine. Unload. Can you get out there? Kill.
You want a piece of me, boy? You want a piece of me, boy?
I gotta give it to them. They're standing up well to tank blasts.
Standing by.
I know if I had aerial like fires and whatnot, I wouldn't have that issue there, but I don't want fires because it becomes another issue to worry about. You actually have to worry about your AA. Without fires, you don't.
Upgrade complete.
Now I could have a second building of these, upgrading more, but I'm gonna be lazy and say no. I'm gonna just put those resources into buying more troops and getting more supply depots. And I know I'll have plenty of gas in the thing over here, but it'll be fine. Okay. You go over there and do that. I'm actually going to leave them over there and just use them for a bit more supply depots. I know one at a time isn't the best, but it's better than constantly pulling other people off work. Well, they're still working, I suppose, but off the mineral line. Oh, I'm still be bothered about the fucking Ghost Division thing. Like, it may be a few days since I said that comment to you, but it's been like, for me, it's like I just said it. It's just constantly going over my head. Was I right? Was I wrong? Was I neither? Was I somehow both right and wrong at the same time? Like, I'm a worrywart, and I'm obsessed about being right, so, yeah. Like, if I ever say anything on my channel and I'm incorrect, like, if I say anything on my channel, you may want to double check it. I could be incorrect. I could be remembering incorrectly, or I could have just been flat out misinformed. So, you know, gotta check it out. Now, here's a story I'll tell you about that I do remember, that I do know. It was actually taught to me in my classics class back in school. It was actually kind of awesome. The students wanted it, so they were able to actually get the school to put the class on. They hadn't been teaching it the year before, if memory serves. So it was actually rather awesome. There was a sort of, you know, Julius Caesar. Everyone knows of Julius Caesar, or at least most people do. In his military career, he was actually, his soldiers loved him. Generals had to pay to their own troops. The Senate refused to pay, stupidly. It's stupid because it made the troops loyal to the soldiers, to the generals, not the state. And as such, the soldiers would quite willingly turn on the state. But if the state had paid them, it would have been, you know, made them somewhat more reluctant, I guess. But the Senate was known for its stupidity. They kept thinking Pompey, most loyal bastard NA, would turn on them, constantly, even though he was the most loyal bastard ever. Like, seriously. think an A there meant North America.